Hey guys, so I am back with another vlog video, and this month's topic is about poison ivy. So a lot of people wanted to know why I chose poison ivy as a cosplay for me to do. And of course, I've been briefly explaining it to people. It's not like a huge important backstory, but just something that I wanted to do. And of course for Mark, since it's his favorite cosplay, he wanted to know why I chose it. So that will be the topic of this video today. Not only am I going to describe to you guys why I chose poison ivy as my cosplay, but I'm also going to explain how I made it. So it gives you a little bit of an insight as to how I create things and the many mistakes that I make, because honestly, who knows what goes on in here sometimes. It's like common sense stuff, and I find a way to screw it up. But I mean, that's the learning process of cosplaying. It's not an easy hobby, but it's a fun one, right? So we will go through those things, and hopefully you enjoy this video. So why did I choose poison ivy as a cosplay? So if we go back in time, I actually started out from DC Comics choosing Catwoman, because she was my favorite and still is my current favorite character in the DC universe besides Batman. So I chose Catwoman. I did a very small cosplay of Catwoman for, I think it was Fan Expo, and I liked how it turned out, but because it wasn't a cat suit and it was kind of like a homemade kind of thing, I wish that I did it better. So I decided, what's a character that you don't see as often? And I chose Poison Ivy. So at the time when I chose Poison Ivy, I was a redhead. So it worked out well because I didn't want to wear a wig. I mean, wearing wigs is fun and all, but it's like super irritating throughout the day, and especially if it's a long-haired wig, it's heavy, it's itchy, it gets hot. So I decided I want to use my regular hair. And since it was red, why not? How I started coming up with the idea on how to make poison ivy was I knew I needed a bodysuit. So what I did was, I actually have the cosplay here. I can't wear it because it needs repairs. It's been to many cons. But basically, I'll move back. This is the cosplay. So this is the front of it. Sorry, this is the back of it. Oops. This is the front of it. And yeah, as you can see on the inside here, how it's dark green, it's actually a cotton bodysuit that I found at a store. And you can even see here, it had strings going through it like a corset, but I didn't want that for this cosplay, so I took the strings out. So now I have to put leaves on it. So I bought a whole bunch of leaves. Like, I looked like a crazy gardener lady in the dollar store with like a shit ton of leaves. Like, it was just ridiculous. I remember the looks from everyone. They were kind of like, what is this girl doing? I didn't really come up with a drawing of it, which is what I highly recommend when you're doing cosplay, is come up with a drawing and start from that, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna run into a lot of problems. After I got all those leaves, came back home, and I started to hot glue. So what I decided I was gonna do is, I'm not gonna wear the bodysuit when I'm doing this because I didn't want to burn myself. So dumb, just wait, it's dumb. But what I did was I put a piece of cardboard in between the bodysuit so it doesn't stick together, and started gluing on my leaves. Everything was fine and dandy, and as you can see, they are all just hot glued on there, one by one. It didn't take as much time as I thought it would, so I was fairly happy about that, but it was just finding the right leaves to use. I used these, like, they're not really ivy leaves, but I used these leaves and then I mixed it up with this other color just to kind of give dimension to the bodysuit instead of it all being one and then being very flat looking. So you can kind of see that there's different leaves throughout the whole bodysuit, especially at the top and the bottom, because I wanted to accentuate the body shape instead of being one big like marshmallow and looking like the Michelin Man. So that's why I use different leaves. I mean, everybody does something else, but that's what I came up with. And all was fine and dandy until I decided to try it on once it was done. And let me tell you, it wasn't fun. And the reason for that is because I hot glued everything, I thought, yeah, it's just gonna fit, it's gonna go on, everything's good. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. It didn't fit. I didn't gain 10 pounds out of nowhere. That's not what happened. What happened is the stupid hot glue made everything so tight and compact that I couldn't fit the stupid suit on. So I was so angry and I thought, oh my god, I just wasted all this material. I wasted this bodysuit. I wasted my time, and the con is coming up. What am I gonna do? So I ended up taking off and ripping off, actually, some of the leaves and wiggling my way in. So I thought, okay, this is gonna work. I wiggled about halfway and I'm like, shit, this isn't gonna work. So I was kind of stuck there, and to top it off, I couldn't get the suit off. So I couldn't get it on fully, and I couldn't get it off now. So I was stuck. So since I was stuck, I had to ask for help to get out of my suit, got help, got out, and thought, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So I continued taking some leaves off, and eventually it did loosen up enough for me to put on. So once I had the bodysuit on, I put that cardboard piece in between my body and the suit and just reattached the leaves that I took off. So, I mean, in the end, it worked out, but what did I learn? If you're working on bodysuits and you're gluing things on, put the bodysuit on. Don't have it off. Maybe that's common sense for people, but I never built anything regarding a bodysuit before. So I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna work. Yeah, I learned my lesson with that. So at least it worked out in the end, and it turned out well. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because I was able to fix it, so I got lucky. So once the bodysuit was done, I decided, what am I gonna move on to? So I actually wanted to create high heels. Poison Ivy is a very sexy character, so I thought, of course I'm gonna need high heels. It might suck when I'm walking around the con, it may not be comfortable, but it'll look good. So let's sacrifice my feet with, I heard this in a commercial and I thought it was so intelligent, with baby toe assassins. Okay, maybe you know the commercial I'm talking about, but not the point. I thought it was funny. So I decided I'm going to create a high heel as well. I ended up finding these heels, bought them, and I was lucky to find them to top it off because, as I've said in my previous video, I am very small. I'm 4'11" in height, and my shoe size is technically a size 4, which isn't really common to find amongst women's shoe sizes. So they were pink and they were open toe heels with a thick heel, and I thought they would be pretty comfortable for a con. So what I did was I ended up painting them green as a base. Once I was done painting them, I got my hot glue gun and I started attaching on leaves. There you go. Yeah, they were open toe. You can see that's the pink they originally were. And I painted over green. You might not be able to, oh, there you go. You can see the green there. And they were open toe heels, but I decided since it was winter time when this con happened, I don't want my toes touching freezing cold Canadian snow. So let's throw on some leaves and try and make it closed toe. But that's the heels. So they turned out really good. I'm actually really proud with how they turned out. What I did, because I wanted to have this going around my arm and then onto my wrist. So I didn't have a lot of time when I came up with this, and I'm sure there's a better way to do this that'll look much better. But in my case, because I was so limited, I just got this vine, wrapped it around my arm, attached it onto my bodysuit on the shoulder piece with hot glue just at the top, and then once it was wrapped around my arm, I attached a, well, it kind of broke now, a hair tie at the bottom. I cut the hair tie and I put Velcro pieces right at the ends there just to close it, so that went around my wrist. And it was very easy to use and it looked okay. I wish I had a green hair tie instead, but I only had black, so I mean you kind of notice it. But it was a quick thing and I still liked the look it gave me for the con, so I ended up using that. Continuing the vine look, I wanted to also have the same idea on my legs, but I only wanted it on one leg and for it to be on the opposite side than my arm. So I ended up getting pantyhose, again, from the dollar store because I'm a cheap person. And They're just simple pantyhose, very, very cheap, easy to find. You can get stronger material if you want. And I attached leaves onto it. So I put cardboard in between the pantyhose just so it doesn't stick together. This was okay because this material stretches, so I was able to fit into it after. And I just attached leaves all the way around my leg. And I tried it on throughout just to make sure it looked nice versus it all being in one spot. And it turned out really well, and it was a very easy, cheap cosplay to do, so I was very, very happy with it. That's how I made Poison Ivy, and like I said, why I chose it was because I was redheaded at the time. I wanted to do another DC character besides the Catwoman I've already done, which I hope to redo because now I actually have a cat suit. It's gonna be so fun. But besides that, Poison Ivy as a character is very sexy, totally different than the other DC sirens being Catwoman and Harley Quinn. So since there's so much you can do with her as a cosplay and you can do different alternate versions of her, I thought this is easy, I can make it my own, I can make it original, but still represent the character in a very nice way. Mark, I hope this answers your question about why I chose Poison Ivy. I love that you love her so much, and this is my shout out to you to say thank you for your support and for always, always, always supporting Poison Ivy, especially although you support all my cosplays, which is great. I also want to do a quick shout out to Jay and to Austin. Welcome to the Patreon party, and I'm so happy to have you guys along with all my other patrons who are super, super, super nice people. Hopefully you guys can create your own, and if you do, make sure you share it with me because I'd love to see your creations. Besides that, if you want to see any new content that I post, whether it be new vlog topics, just random videos that I'll throw in here and there, commissions that I'm currently doing, tutorials, or even cons that I go to, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to like this video. If you subscribe, you'll be notified as to when I upload new content, and next month will be a new vlog topic. All links are down below, and bye-bye for now! Hey guys, so I am back with another vlog. Damn it, Cameron, I can't see past your text message. And I point what? That I did it for, and I was kind of happy with how it turned out. What the fuck am I saying? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Why is this so difficult today?